Oh, if I head back to the rooster. I'm trying to think of.
That was amazing.
We had a year. Our year was good.
We had there twice.
Yeah. Was it twice?
Yep, twice we did. But we just did one year. We did the whole 3 days. But then the next year we just did 1 day.
Yeah.
Oh, what a miserable looking that.
It's time.
A very good evening, everybody. Well, I hope it is with you, because it isn't a very good evening here weather-wise. This is Patricia and David, Gulf Harbour Radio, ZMH 286, and it is, it's winter. But we've had it so pleasant that you can forgive me for being a bit grumpy with this weather that we've got at the moment. It's 15 degrees, and it's been, well, I think it might have got to 16 for about half an hour, and then it dropped back to 15 when the rain started. Well, drizzled for the start, but now it's, I would think it's rain or drizzle, whatever you want to call it. It's light. 100% cloud cover, of course. The bar is dropping 1027.2 as this high moves away. It is just unpleasant. So there you go. It will be nice to hear from some lovely, sunny, warm places further north from us. All right, just a couple of bits of news from boats that are on their way. We have moon dust, some of you know, who are on their way to South Africa, and they are currently about 200 miles and closing on Christmas Island. Good update from them. They're at 1022 south and 10902 east when the sitrep came in this morning, heading west at 5 knots, and they will stop at Christmas Island, which is, I didn't realise it's administered by Australia, so they will have to clean out all their fruit and vegetables by the sound of it. So all is going well with them, except that Peter, in the process of gaffing a nice fish, lost everything, including the gaff. So there's a fish wandering around with a gaff, which hopefully he's going to shrug off in the near future. Now, water music, heading up from Cairns to Darwin, haven't got around the corner yet, of course. They are probably anchoring about now. They are at Lizard Island National Park. Looks a really interesting spot, so they'll be having a pretty good time. There's quite a few boats in the area. There's about 5 already at Lizard Island on AIS, and several others making that passage around to Darwin, so they're certainly not on their own. I had an interesting email from iCandy, just a bit of news for you. The Port Vila Marina area there with the buoys now has a new manager. Some of you will remember Lamara, but she's no longer there. Rosalind is the new marina manager, and Andrew, son of either the owner or Rosalind, didn't quite work that one out, is also there. And Andrew was dealing with him for looking at diesel, duty-free diesel for when they left. Diesel in Vanuatu at the moment is 234 Vatu per litre, which is in New Zealand dollars. You can work it out in your own currency. New Zealand dollars, $3.15, which is not all that much different from our fuel prices, actually. Duty-free, it's quite important to get duty-free because it's 202 Vatu, which is $2.71 per litre New Zealand, and that's about what we pay for diesel here. So it would be quite good to get the duty-free if Andrew can make sure that everything has been organised the way it should be. I've got a couple of boats we've got weather for, but first of all, let's go to Marilyn, who is on passage. Boy, have they got some wind. I've been following them with interest, and also Haydar is behind them. Quite a distance behind them now. They're losing distance to Marilyn, who are really going well. Marilyn, Gulf Harbour Radio. Are you up on frequency, Jeremy?
Harbour Radio, Marilyn here, and your team's right. We have got quite a lot of wind here and quite a big sea, but to be fair, it's not bad. It's quite pleasant, really. Over.
Well, you're getting used to it. I'd have to say that by the time you get to Port Vila, you'll be just ready for some tranquil quietness. Anyway, I have your position and conditions that you gave us at lunchtime I'm going to read them out because it will save you having to repeat them. And you can just tell me if anything has changed too much. Obviously, your position has changed. You're currently at about 2146 and 17915 east. But at the midday point, you had caught over ground of 350 true and 8.5. I presume it's much the same. Easterly wind, 25 knots with gusty conditions, 75% cloud cover. Warming up, about time it warmed up, 1.5 to 2 metre choppy swell from the east. And pretty much, boy, it looks like it's going to stay that way. So is all well, and is there any change from those conditions? Over?
It's probably picked up a bit in wind and sea, but the angle's really good. It's still sort of after the beam, so we've done it really nicely, and we'll probably turn down a little bit in the morning and hopefully have a good run into Port General rather than Port Vila, and if there's any change in the weather, we're looking forward to it. Over.
I don't think so. Boy, looking at the boats, it's funny. You're behind Sapphire 2, who will be probably in there just ahead of you, and then there is Harbour behind you. Harbour doesn't look as if, well, if you can believe the GFS, and they haven't reported in. Harbour is down at 2536 and 17912 west. Their wind is not quite as strong as yours, but I'll just see if David has got any. Have you got any change?
No, it's just a lot of wind.
Just a lot of wind, he says. But yeah, it's well, it's just going to stay a lot of wind. I've just put this on, so you're looking at 30 knots between now and arrival. But of course, it probably once you get in the lee of the island, you'll probably have it drop off, thankfully. But yep, you're going to have a good 25-30 between now and then. Over.
Yes, thanks for that. I think we're getting it now, and yeah, we're looking forward to getting to the lee of one of the islands. Anyway, it'll be nice, but it's pretty good, mate. We're having a good time, and that video's probably gone a little bit long and no moves in the covers, so we're pretty happy to cruise next, and we'll look for you tomorrow, Marilyn, clear.
Okay, well, yep, stay safe one more night, and boy, you'll be really pleased to get in there. Okay, clear with Marilyn, really on the edge of that anticyclone. We've got just so little wind here, it's almost hard to imagine. Mind you, I can imagine the warmth, but well, we're getting our wind, I think Thursday. It's going to be really snotty here as everything clashes. But let's see if we can find Harbour, Gulf Harbour. Yep, there must be something wrong with their system there, but Harbour is actually looking at about, well, not quite as strong a wind as Marilyn, down there at 2533 and 17912 west. So, but they'll be getting it the closer they get. Anyway, that's it for the two boats on passage, and David has got some information for Toria. Are you on frequency? Over.
Yeah, good afternoon. We can hear you loud and clear. Over.
Oh, I've got you loud and clear too, so that's good. Could you go ahead first of all with your position and conditions? I bet it's a lot better than yesterday. Over.
Sure is. Our position is 24 degrees 11 south, 156 degrees 42 east. Of course, we're roughly west-southwest at the moment. We had about, we were south-southeast, we had about 15 knots this morning, but it's dropped off to probably just under 10 at the moment.
Yep, so the wind, did you say east, southeast, or southeast? Over.
Southeast.
Okay, southeast. Yeah, David just likes to check up on these models. So Toria 2411 south, 15642 east, heading on a west-southwest course with south-southeast 15. Sounds quite pleasant. I'm just going to pass the microphone for an update.
Yeah, good afternoon. It does look pretty nice there. That's one of the nicest passages, I think, throughout the Southwest Pacific in terms of comfort. So Tomorrow, the wind's probably a little bit less, maybe 10 knots. But it looks like they're veering a bit, maybe southerly around 10, give or take on that direction. Wednesday, virtually the same. And Thursday, the same, 13, 15 knots like that. But southeast, I think, on Thursday. And then your arrival date, which you gave us yesterday, variable winds, the predominantly out of the southeast, but fairly light, fairly light. So I'm sure you'll be motoring into Mackay. So an excellent passage, I think. I don't see much in the way of precipitation. It's all to the east of where you are. You may have some right about now. I don't know if you had mentioned that. I might not have been paying attention, but you're right on the edge, the western edge of a trough that's running northwest to southeast. But it looks like you may have avoided it. But in any case, it would be drifting to the east, so should be no problem for you. That's about it.
Okay.
Here's the chief.
Okay, thanks, David, for that. Yeah, we emerged from the coast this morning with clear blue sky. The last couple of hours, the wind has dropped off, so it's probably just less than 10 knots of breeze. Well, that's just probably because we've finished a lot further south than we expected, so we'll probably end up making some land but the way I look at it, we're going to have late summer, and then potentially a little bit of the Australian forecast as we get closer to it. So a bit of southwesterly turning back to the south.
Yeah, well, we'll be updating you every day just in case things are a bit different from what he said. So, yep, you can just keep an open mind. That's what cruisers do. Over.
Yeah, okay. We'll speak to you tomorrow. That sounds great. Thanks for the assistance.
Yeah, it's surprising that, well, you must have a very good radio system because you're coming through really well. I expected there might be some problems as you get closer, but I'm sure that tomorrow night will be fine. Okay, we'll clear with Toria. Is there anybody else on passage that wants to check in? Please call now.
This is Somerset.
Well, yeah, I wondered about what you guys were doing. It looks pretty snotty weather in Fiji. Oh, no, it's not snotty in Fiji. It's snotty in Port Vila. Sorry about that. Paul, what are you guys up to? Over.
Yeah, so we're on passage. We don't really have much wind at the moment, so we're expecting a bit more. We're at 17 degrees, 45 south, 176 degrees, 58 east. We have 10 knots of east, and the swell is 2.5 meters from the south. Over.
Okay, so we have Somerset at 1745 south, 17658 east, making use of the easterly wind, which is 10 knots at the moment, 2.5 metre southerly swell. It's interesting.
Where are you going?
To Tanna, on their way to Tanna from Fiji. Any comments? I think you're making good use of that east or east-northeast as it will be going. It's certainly going to back, I think David said. So yes, you should have a pretty nice passage, and you've got you're all set documentation-wise for Tanna, I assume. Over.
Yeah, roger that. We'll fix that and we'll check out nicely and all negative COVID tests. So we're really sort of going to watch it, but we're really expecting a bit more wind, over.
Yeah, I would have thought you would get a bit more wind. David is just having a look.
Trying to get my computer to operate.
Tried to get his computer to operate. I don't know why he has trouble. Well, it's the RF in the radio room doesn't really help things too much.
What's the ETA, Paul?
Yeah, ETA, Paul, is, let me see, you took off this morning, I guess. So your ETA is Wednesday, is that correct, over?
If the wind picks up, then it's Wednesday, over.
All right, so if the wind picks up, it's Wednesday. So we'll see what we can find for you. Here's David.
Going into Tanna.
Tanna, yeah.
Yeah, going into Tanna on Wednesday. Boy, it's going to be. You have a raincoat or an umbrella? think you're going to need them. Anyhow, there are troughs all about the area, particularly running northwest to southeast right through New Caledonia, but then there's another one that runs right up and down Vanuatu. That's Wednesday, which is a bit of a shame because it's going to continue with showers through Thursday and Friday, uh, and that's going to mess up. Well, not mess up, but it's going to make the Back to the Roots Festival a little damp. But actually, we've been to that festival twice, and even in the rain, you're in the jungle, and it's really spectacular. It doesn't really matter what the weather is, but anyhow, Paul, for you, the winds are going to be northerly quadrant, depending upon what time that you get there, anywhere from north northeast to north. Um, I don't know, maybe north northwest, but probably not. Probably more north to north northeast as you get into the Tanna area. And of course, the showers that I talked about. Now, they're not spectacular thunderstorms, major trough, but just annoying. So, anyway, that may change. We'll see what happens. Over.
Yeah, roger that. We'll just see what happens. We still have waste in the main, so we won't put them in up fully, and we'll see what happens tonight. Talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, roger that. I'd be interested to have a chat to David later on this because I just have a GFS on my AIS system here, and I've got you with 24 hours of very light winds, very slowly backing and going east and east-northeast, but not much until latest Tuesday. So, yeah, I'd be interested to see what have you been looking at the French model, I presume, have you? Anyway, we'll see what you do between now and then. It might be Thursday. Okay, we'll clear with Somerset and just talking about the Return to My Roots Festival. Lynn was asking about the forecast for Ambram, which David has just commented on, but I have now given up trying to find out the cost of that festival because I have been phoning all the various telephone numbers that I have got and nobody answers, and half the time Spark comes in and tells me the number doesn't exist, and half the time it goes through, but the Vanuatu tourist office does not answer their phone. They do not respond to emails. So I think they're still in COVID lockdown or something. But we'll hopefully Intrinsic is on frequency, and we'll give you the job, Lynn, of walking to the, just when you get ashore there, head north and along the trail and try and find Chief Seker, Seker, Soker, whatever it is, anyway, Seker. And with a bit of luck, you will be able to track him down. Everybody knows who he is, and find out, and you can report back to us tomorrow. Intrinsic, are you on frequency?
Yeah, receiving you loud and clear, is it?
Yeah, you're loud and clear too. It's very good. Have you got anything extra to add to Ambram's weather? Yeah, David, all he thinks of is rain when he thinks of Ambram, but here he is, and he can tell you what the official forecast is.
Well, I'm not so sure about official, but yeah, it probably will be showery. It's almost traditional to have showers there. You get up a little bit of inclination up into the hills, into the jungle there, and particularly in the afternoon, it does tend to precipitate. But it's fun. Just bring your foul weather jackets and hats, and it'll be good. It doesn't faze those people, I can tell you. They have a good time with it. The only fly in the ointment are the winds are looking like northerly quadrant in that anchorage, all up and down that part of Ambram, actually. Not strong, looks like maybe 10, 12, 13, like that. But because of the cloud activity, it's possible that there could be a squall or two, which could give you a little bit of excitement in the evening. So lots of change never hurt. and so hopefully everything will be okay there. It's a beautiful spot, and just a lot of fun going up into the hills there. So that's it. Here's the chief.
Okay, I'll just take it for a moment and tell you I've just read an email from Lupan. Calais reports in from Port Vila, and it's a public holiday today, which might explain why nobody has been answering telephones. It's Assumption Day, so they have a holiday today. Maybe tomorrow there might be somebody answering the phones. So did you get all that, Lynn? And could you tell me how many boats are in the anchorage, over?
I can copy all of that. We're still actually in Port Sandwich, so we've got 4 boats in total in here, including us. We've actually received an email from somebody telling us the program for Back to My Roots, but no cost, although we've been verbally told it sounds really.
Yeah, and you've got the program. It's on the internet. It says Thursday, Friday, just 2 days. Is that what you have been told, over?
Yeah, that's correct, over.
Oh, that's good. Okay, well, at least something is right there. Okay. Oh, well, we'll rely on you guys to keep us all informed when you get there. Okay, excellent signals tonight, which is really good. Your radio is great. Is there anybody else with anything for Gulf Harbour Radio?
Anything I can say though? Well, seeing as how we don't hear anybody, I just thought I'd mention one more thing about Ambrym because we do have some experience there. And you look at your weather models and whatnot. Generally, the wind that's right in there does not conform to the models. So don't get panicky if you see strange-looking things on whatever model that you happen to be looking at, because the winds could be totally different from what they have to say. So the best thing is go there, enjoy it, and have a good time.
Yeah, and those comments really apply to all of those islands with high peaks or ridges down the middle of them, because the wind just hits it and changes, and boy, it can be quite different. Okay, well, if there is nobody else around, we shall go back to the fire. We've had the fire blazing since noontime today. Not often that happens because it's been such pleasant weather, but it is just so dismal and chilly. We are certainly burning firewood to cheer up the atmosphere. So have a enjoyable, warm time wherever you are, and we will be back again tomorrow. Cheers, everybody. The frequency is yours if you need it.